Well, thank you, Satya sir and Mr. G.V. Ravi Shankar for enlightening us with your thoughts. What an incredible lineup this has been by TIE Delhi. Brilliant work. Just look at the kind of speakers we managed to bring in, including our next one on topic, building a nation of job creators, Delhi government's business blasters. Before we begin, would like to thank Silicon Valley Bank, Microsoft, and Tricom for their support. And they also say, guys, feedback is a gift. Please share your views with us. Do remember to share your experience with us and tweet at the rate Thai Delhi with hashtag ThaiCon Delhi 2022, hashtag Unstoppable India. Also, reminder nail it, then scale it. AI Innovative Growth Hack Playbook FinTech is scheduled to commence at Quantum Hall shortly. It's an interesting one. And now, further ado, our next session. Allow me to introduce this powerful panel. We have Ms. Atishi Singh, educator, member of Legislative Assembly, Delhi government. Atishi Marlena is an Indian politician, educator, political activist, and MLA from Delhi. We also have two students who've been a part of the Business Blaster program supported by TIE Delhi-NCR. And Chair, Srikant Sastri, sir, President, TIE Delhi-NCR. Over to you, sir.
There's Deep Bajaj also there. Okay, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you this morning, Atishi. A very good morning to you. And I'm going to start by saying just one thing before I hand this over to you. And I want to talk about one of the popular debates that happens in startup circles and media circles, whether Delhi NCR is doing better than Bangalore in terms of the whole startup ecosystem. And however, the tragedy is that when media or other people talk about Delhi NCR, they usually mean Gurgaon or Noida, which is where a lot of the glamour action sits, funding, unicorns, IPOs, etc. But the fact that a lot of people do not know is that the real startup revolution is happening in the city of Delhi, and it's not glamorous. It's a silent startup revolution that's happening at the grassroots here. And you and your team in Delhi government have initiated some mega programs those are designed to make Delhi a city of entrepreneurs and micro entrepreneurs. And would love to have you talk to our audience about this. And with that, I'm going to hand over the stage to you. Over to you, Atishi.
Hi, can you hear me, Srikant?
Yes, very much.
Okay, so I'm not getting sound from your end, but since I'm going to go ahead and start nonetheless with the assumption that you can hear
Others
us.
could hear it. Go right.
So good morning, everyone. And it's a great honor to be here with the TIE for your annual conference. And I'm here to talk about the Delhi government's Business Blasters program. And I'm sure Srikant, in the segment that I have not been able to hear, was talking about what this program is. And before talking about what the program is, I think that I'll take a few steps back and talk about how and why we decided to start this program. And I think a very telling example of that happened a few months ago when Parag Agarwal became the CEO of Twitter. And there was this meme that was circulating quite widely on social media, which had the pictures of all these Indian origin CEOs like Parag Agarwal, Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, and a few others. And the meme said, "Padhega India, tabhi to badhega America." and I think that was a very telling meme because that goes to show that clearly Indian education system is creating very high quality human resource. It is creating high quality leaders. It is creating high quality private sector employees. It is creating high quality CEOs. And today, Indians are heading some of the largest multinational corporations. PepsiCo is headed by an Indian. The largest perfume company in the world, Chanel, is now headed by someone of Indian origin. And yet, when you look at the fact that on the other side, so you have Indians leading some of the biggest companies across the world. So there is obviously no dearth of talent in the country. But on the other hand, we also hear and we regularly hear about this fact that when the UP government or Haryana government advertises some post for PNs or post messengers that require anyone to be just qualified by 10 standard exam, for 50 posts, you have 20,000 people who apply, many of whom have PhDs, MTechs, BTechs, bachelor's degrees. And you begin to wonder that how do both these things coexist together? That on the one hand, there is no dearth of Indian talent who are leading businesses across the country. Yet in India, there seems to be a very huge shortage of jobs. Unemployment seems to be high. And highly educated, talented young people seem to be willing to take jobs, seem to be keen to take jobs for which they're highly overqualified. Right? So, how do both of these things exist together? And I think that the answer basically lies in the fact that we as Indians have what one can almost call the secure job mindset. That our entire education system is geared to tell our young people who are coming out of the education system कि भाई अच्छी सी नौकरी करना, अच्छी नौकरी करना जो सेफ होगी, सिक्योर होगी, हो सके तो गवर्नमेंट नौकरी करना जिसमें तुम्हें पीएफ मिलेगा, पेंशन मिलेगी, जिसमें तुम एक बारी सेटल हो जाओगे. And it is this mindset with which we really bring up our young people. And you can see this mindset not just in schools, or you see this mindset even in the fact that every year when recruitment happens from some of our best institutions like IITs, IIMs, and they make headlines. What makes headlines? What makes headlines is that the highest package from IIMs was 2 crore rupees, or the highest package that IIT Delhi put forward was the students got was 1.5 crore rupees. So even there, in our best of institutions, where we are getting the cream of students, what we effectively have are just people who are looking for high-paying jobs. Now, what happens when our talented students look for high-paying jobs? What happens when a Parag Agarwal? I have nothing against. I think it's a matter of great pride that a lot of Indians are heading some of the biggest multinational corporations in all sectors. Now, but the problem with that is that when a Parag Agarwal heads Twitter, when an Indra Nui heads PepsiCo, when you have Sundar Pichai who heads Google, for all practical purposes, these people educated in India, the country, the resources of this country that have been invested in them, the society that has invested in them, they are now actually contributing towards the growth and the development of another country's economy. And yes, they are bringing, by virtue of the fact that they are heading those organizations, they bring laurels to this country. But for all practical purposes, they are creating GDP growth, they are creating jobs for these other countries. So they are contributing to economic growth of the United States of America. They are contributing to the economic growth of Canada, of the United Kingdom, of France, or Germany. But these talented young people are not contributing to the economic development of India. And India still continues to face this big challenge that where are the 100 million jobs that the country needs in the next 30 years? Where are those
Yeah, Nitin. Why is that? No, but Atishi is logged off. Huh. Apologies. Now,
Hi, should we restart?
Atishi, you can start from where you dropped off. Actually, you were talking
Actually,
about
I'm not sure where I dropped off
you
because
talked about all these people heading global corporations, but we have a big unemployment in India, and
yeah.
that's where you dropped off.
Okay, great. So yes, so I was talking about how the young Indian people and talented and well qualified Indian youth are now doing extremely well in global corporations. And as I said, that while it is a matter of pride for us, it is definitely raises a questions as to how are they contributing to India's economic growth, or are they contributing to the economy of, be it the United States of America, Canada, Western Europe, United Kingdom, which is where those corporations are based? And I think it's very clear that a lot of Indian talent is now contributing to economic development and creation of employment and jobs in other parts of the world. And I think that this is a question that we as Indian society need to be asking, that how is it that Indian youth and talented Indian youth can actually contribute to India's economic development? And this is where we felt that what really needs to change is the mindset that we are giving young people in our education system. Because currently the mindset that we are giving our young people is कि भाई पढ़ाई लिखाई करके अच्छी सी नौकरी करना, secure नौकरी करना. And that is exactly then what a lot of our youth start looking for. And this is the reason why we started the entrepreneurship mindset curriculum, the intention of which was that when students graduate from schools and graduate from the education system, they are looking to be job creators and not just job seekers. And so the entrepreneurship mindset curriculum runs for students from grade 9 to grade 12. And the intention is to make them problem solvers. The intention is to make them risk takers. Otherwise, if you see the entire curriculum and examination system that we have, is geared toward extremely linear and structured thinking. It is not geared towards problem solving. And it is geared towards this idea of rote learning, that we are going to do well in the exam and then use that exam result to get ourselves a good job thereafter. So the entrepreneurship mindset curriculum looks towards making young people problem solvers. It looks towards making them risk takers. And one of the most important components of the entrepreneurship mindset curriculum is a subcomponent of that, which is called Business Blasters. This basically is a seed money project that is a part of the entrepreneurship mindset curriculum, where all students from grade 11 and 12 get a small amount of seed money, where they, along with a group of other classmates, are there. So every child gets 2,000 rupees seed money, and they can form groups of up to 10 students and set up their own business. So all these students studying in class 11 and 12 actually have their own startups, where they come up with the idea, where they look to a problem to solve, where they are looking at their specific talent that they can use for setting up their own businesses. And because we are running this program in all government schools, it also runs on an extremely large scale. So as it happens, we have the government has invested 60 crores of seed capital that gets given to these students. This year, we have had 51,000 student startups as a part of this program. And over 3 lakh students have participated in the student startup program. And I think this is probably the biggest student startup program that has, I don't think I have ever heard of a bigger student startup program than this. And we are going to introduce you to some of our teams also moving forward in the next 5 minutes. But I think that the big learning out of the student startup program has been the fact that you had young people who set up businesses related to art and craft. You had young people who set up very high-tech businesses. You have young people who set up design and advertising businesses as a part of their ventures. And what has really come out, you've had one team that actually, they have created this product that they're calling Biothene. A biothene, which is a biodegradable substitute for polythene. So they are not just looking to solve a small problem or a local problem. They are actually looking to solve a very large scale environmental global problem. And they, from the seed money that they got from Delhi government, actually set up one of the kitchens in one of the team members' house as a laboratory, and did about 100 experiments to come up with this product called Biothene, which is totally biodegradable. And now they are at this stage getting that product tested. They already have received a few lakh rupees of investment from companies that are looking to use this product for eco-friendly packaging. So it is not just small problems that are getting solved. It are very large-scale global problems are being attempted to be solved by young people studying in Delhi government schools. And I think that the biggest outcome of this has been the kind of confidence that students have acquired. Now you have students who have run their own ventures over a period of 6 months, over a period of 1 year. And we had this one group of students who had their startup called Speaker Stirs, where they were setting up Bluetooth speakers. And in one interaction, one of these girls who's studying in class 12, one of the members of this startup team, said that, so when they were asked how they are looking to expand their business, she said that we are looking to hire some IIT engineers for our startup. And I thought that here is this young girl many of whose classmates are probably preparing for the IIT JEE exam. And here you have the student, she is talking about how they're going to hire IIT engineers for their startup, for scaling it up. And I think that this is the kind of confidence that students have acquired. That now they think कि भाई ठीक है, हम पढ़ाई भी करेंगे आगे, ऐसा नहीं है कि हम पढ़ाई छोड़ देंगे, बट अब हम नौकरियों के पीछे भाग नहीं रहे हैं. हमें अब पता है कि we can set up our own businesses, have our own startups, sustain ourselves, and create jobs for others. And I think this really has been the biggest transformation that has taken place. And I think that I would now like to, in the next few minutes, like to get a few of our students to join. Because I think that, when you look at political leaders and you look at people like us who are running these programs, everyone thinks कि भाई आप तो अपनी तारीफ करते ही रहते हो. But I think that it is really the students' voices that need to be heard. And actually, I don't think we should call them students also. We should really be calling them young entrepreneurs. Because interestingly, so as a part of this program, when we had 51,000 startups, we've had a bubbling up structure. And as a part of this bubbling up structure, we had from these 51,000 startups, we had 1,000 that were chosen. And we had I think 28 in 28 different parts of the city. We had these pitching events where all these 1,000 startups had to present their ideas to some entrepreneurs and to people from universities, people who are from management faculties and stuff. And from these 1,000, about 125 startups were chosen, which then for whom we had a proper investment expo. And in this investment expo, we had, in fact, we had a lot of support from TIE as well. We had many young entrepreneurs supporting, mentoring our startups. And as a part of this investment expo, we had, I think, 250 plus letters of intent that have been signed. And at this investment expo, I was speaking to one team, and I think they had some tech related business, which was they had some solar run toys, that solar battery run children's toys that they were making. And so I asked them कि क्या रहा investment expo में. कुछ लोग आए, उन्होंने इन्वेस्ट किया. कहते नहीं मैम, हमने ले लिए हैं उनके नंबर्स, बिकॉज अभी हमें थोड़ा डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि हमें उन्हें कितनी इक्विटी देनी है. And so these were students in class 11 and 12. And for them to be thinking about these things, I think that this really is the future of our country. And we had Rajan Anand, Sequoia Capital head at this event. And I think he said a very telling thing. He said that, we always look at this question of where are the next 100 million jobs going to come from? And he said, I look at these young people today and I know this is where the next 100 million jobs are going to be coming from. And so maybe now we could open the screen out for bringing in two of our young entrepreneurs. Can we have the tech team get them to log in? And the first of these teams, we are all sitting in the same school, actually, just happen to be sitting in different rooms because of as for logging into this. So the first team that we have is called Mystic Dates. And so I would like to, Soofee, अगर आप अपने आप को unmute कर लेंगे. And so I think सूफी, हम आपसे ये बेसिकली यहाँ पे बहुत सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं जो देश भर से, दुनिया भर से आज लॉग इन किए हैं देखने के लिए कि क्या कर रहे हैं हमारे छोटे बिजनेस स्टार्स. एंड तो सूफी, आप पहले बताइए कि आपका क्या स्टार्टअप है. पहले तो आप अपने बारे में बताइए, आप कौन से स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं और कौन सी क्लास में पढ़ते हैं.
Okay, so my name is Soofee and I'm from Nagloi, Punjabi Basti Government Co-ed Senior Secondary. And I'm in 11th class from Arts Faculty.
Okay. And so Soofee, Mystic Dates क्या है? What is this startup? क्या करते हैं आप लोग?
Okay, so आपको इंडिया के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा. पहले इंडिया में 70% ऐसे लोग हैं जो अपने डेली जो मील होती है उनकी, उसमें उन्हें पूरा न्यूट्रिशन नहीं मिल पाता है. और जो ब्रांड या फिर जो प्रोडक्ट ऐसे दावे करते हैं कि वो न्यूट्रिशन प्रोवाइड करते हैं अपने प्रोडक्ट में, वो न्यूट्रिशन के साथ साथ केमिकल और शुगर भी प्रोवाइड करते हैं उसमें, जो कि हेल्थ के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा ख़राब है. और इसके लिए हमारे पास कोई सॉल्यूशन है. हाँ, हमारे पास ऐसे बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स हैं, पर मोस्टली वो नेचुरल नहीं होते, या फिर उनमें और कोई फ्लॉ होता है, या फिर वो हायर क्लास के लिए होते हैं जिनको बहुत सारे लोग अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाते. सो मिस्टिक डेट्स एक ऐसा प्रोडक्ट है जिसमें कोई केमिकल नहीं है, कोई हार्मफुल सब्सटेंस नहीं है, इसमें प्रिजर्वेटिव की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती, और इसमें न्यूट्रिशन बहुत है. एंटीऑक्सीडेंट, आयरन, कैल्शियम, प्रोटीन, विटामिन, मिनरल और ऐसे बहुत सारे न्यूट्रिशन हैं जो कि हेल्थ के लिए बहुत अच्छे हैं. ये ऑक्सीडेटिव स्ट्रेस घटाने में मदद करता है, नर्वस सिस्टम और इम्यून सिस्टम को बूस्ट करता है। इसका टेस्ट जो है वो चाय और कॉफ़ी की तरह है और इसको चाय और कॉफ़ी की तरह बना सकते हैं। ये हेल्थ बेवरेज कैटेगरी में आता है।
तो क्या है ये मिस्टिक डेट सूफी, मतलब प्रोडक्ट क्या है आपका?
मिस्टिक डेट्स, यस, मिस्टिक डेट्स जो है वो जैसे चाय और कॉफ़ी होती है, वैसे ही इसको भी चाय और कॉफ़ी की तरह बना सकते हैं। हॉट बेवरेज कैटेगरी में आता है।
ओके, सो आपने एक हॉट
पाउडर
बेवरेज बनाया
फॉर्म
है
में।
जो एक पाउडर फॉर्म में है। एंड
यस।
ओके, तो अभी तक क्या जर्नी रही है आपकी? आपने ये कैसे करने का सोचा? कितने लोग हैं आपके स्टार्टअप में? आपको कितना सीड मनी मिला?
ओके, सो आज से 6 मंथ्स पहले हमने शुरू किया था। जब स्कूल में मुझे पता चला कि बिजनेस मास्टर प्रोग्राम लॉन्च होने वाला है, तो 2019 में जो हमारे क्लास टीचर थे, उन्होंने मेंशन किया था कि आगे फ्यूचर में कोई ऐसा प्रोग्राम आ सकता है जिसमें आप सभी को 2000 रुपीज़ दिए जाएंगे पर स्टूडेंट, और उससे आपको कोई अपना स्टार्टअप क्रिएट करना है। सो उसके थोड़े दिन तक मैंने अपने घर पे डिस्कस किया इसके बारे में, और फिर सब कुछ ऐसे नॉर्मल हो गया वापस। और फिर उसके बाद जब मुझे पता चला कि सच में लॉन्च होने वाला है स्कूलों में, तो बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड था मैं। मैंने अपने घर पे इसके बारे में डिस्कस किया और जो टीम बनी थी हमारी स्टार्टिंग में उनसे। सो उसके बाद हम लोग इस कंक्लूजन पे पहुंचे कि इंडिया में जो हेल्थ इंडेक्स है
हम्म,
वो 94th नंबर पे है। 107 कंट्रीज में 94, तो ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं है। सो इसके लिए हमने सोचा कि हम ऐसा प्रोडक्ट लाएंगे जो कि पब्लिक को हेल्थ हेल्थ प्रोवाइड करे और सबको हेल्थी बनाए। सो उसके बाद हमने मिस्टिक डेट्स जो है इसका नाम डिसाइड किया और ये पाउडर बनाने की सोची। सो बेसिकली हमें 10,000 रुपीज मिले थे। मेरी टीम में 5 लोग हैं, मेरे को मिला के मेरी टीम में आके लोग हैं। और उसके बाद हमने 10,000 में से 5,000 जो है वो यूज किए इसकी लैब रिपोर्ट कराने के लिए। लैब रिपोर्ट, क्योंकि अगर लैब कराने के लिए मैं कह रहा हूँ कि ये प्रोडक्ट कंज्यूमेबल है और इसमें ऐसे बेनिफिट्स हैं, तो लोग शायद नहीं मानेंगे। पर जो FSSAI अप्रूव लैब रिपोर्ट होगी वो उनको दिखा देगी कि हाँ प्रोडक्ट कंज्यूमेबल है और हेल्थ के लिए बहुत ही अच्छा है। और फिर उसके बाद जो 5,000 रुपीज हमारे पास बचे थे उससे हमने रॉ मटेरियल मंगवाया अपना, डेट्स के सीड, और जो हमारा यूनिट थी वो सेट करी, पैन और जो भी हमारा रोस्टिंग का प्रोसेस है उसके लिए। उसके बाद हमने 5,000 से 2 मंथ्स के अंदर 50,000 का रेवेन्यू जनरेट किया।
5,000 रुपीज से आपने 50,000 का रेवेन्यू जनरेट किया?
यस, फर्स्ट मंथ हमारी डेवलपमेंट हुई इस प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर, इसका लेबल और सब हमने क्रिएट करी और बैच हमने रेडी किया एक, और फिर नेक्स्ट मंथ से हमने सेल शुरू करने के बाद हमारा 50,000 का रेवेन्यू जनरेट हुआ। और फिर उसके बाद जैसा कि आपने शूट में देखा होगा, जो तान्या विश्वास मैम और नीरज गुलाटी सर, उन्होंने इन्वेस्ट करा इसमें ग्रांट के तौर पे 85,000 इसकी डेवलपमेंट के लिए। और वो मनी जो है अभी तक हमने सेव करके रखी है कि हम उसे पूरा परफेक्ट जब प्लान हमारे पास रेडी होगा उसके बाद हम एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे, उस पैसे को यूज करेंगे। अभी जो हम 50,000 जो हम रेवेन्यू जनरेट किया उसी से हम प्रोसीड कर रहे हैं।
सो अभी आप अपने ही प्रॉफिट से अपने बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं?
यस,
ओके, ग्रेट। तो
Yes.
अभी क्या प्लान है आगे?
ऑल
सूफी
द
कैसे
मार्केटिंग
मिस्टिक
एंड
डेट्स को आगे लेके जाना चाहते हैं?
यस, मिस्टिक डेट्स अभी हम प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी रजिस्टर कर रहे हैं। FSSAI, GST और जितनी भी चीजें लीगल है, इसको रजिस्ट्रेशन पूरा होने के बाद हम इसे एक ऐसा ब्रांड बनाएंगे जो कि इंडिया के हर कॉर्नर में अवेलेबल हो सबके लिए। हेल्थ फॉर एवरीवन, ये हमारा मोटो है।
और मैं आपसे,
और सिर्फ इंडिया तक ही नहीं, इसके बाद आगे और कंट्रीज में भी।
इनफैक्ट बाकी ऑडियंस से मैं ये भी शेयर करना चाहूँगी कि जो इनका मिस्टिक डेट्स की जो ड्रिंक है, विच इज़ बेसिकली इट्स अ कॉफ़ी सब्स्टिट्यूट, और आप उसको पीजिए, सो इट्स अ नॉन कैफिनेटेड वर्जन ऑफ कॉफ़ी। आप इनकी ड्रिंक को पीजिए। आई एम अ एविड कॉफ़ी ड्रिंकर, लेकिन इनकी ड्रिंक को पी के आपको पता नहीं चलता कि आप कॉफ़ी नहीं पी रहे हैं, आप कुछ और पी रहे हैं। सो दैट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली इम्प्रेसिव। सो सूफी, आपकी टीम में कितने लोग हैं? आगे टीम को कैसे एक्सपैंड करेंगे?
ओके, सो टीम के बारे में, यस, स्पेशली टीम। सो फर्स्ट के 2 मंथ्स में जो टीम थी बनी थी हमारी 5 लोगों की, अभी 5 लोग ही है। सो फर्स्ट के 2 मंथ्स में ऐसा हुआ कि हमने आपस में अपने काम बांट लिए बहुत सारे सजेशंस के बाद कि आपको काम बांट लेने टीम में। कि हर कोई अलग अलग अपना सेक्टर ले लेगा तो बहुत ही ज्यादा बढ़िया होगा और सब लोग काम कर पाएंगे सही से। सो काम बांटने के बाद ऐसे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स आए कि जो मार्केटिंग मैनेजर है और जो रॉ मटेरियल प्रोक्योरर है, अगर रॉ मटेरियल का काम कंप्लीट हो चुका है, सो मार्केटिंग मैनेजर का नहीं हुआ है, सो वो रॉ मटेरियल से अगर हेल्प मांगता है तो वो हेल्प नहीं करेगा क्योंकि उसका काम बटा हुआ है। सो ये सारे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स के बाद जो थी वो टीम ऐसे थी डिसबैंड होने वाली थी। सो उस टाइम बहुत मोराल बहुत डाउन था और बहुत स्ट्रेस था। फिर उसके बाद मैंने कोई सॉल्यूशन सोचा, बहुत सारे लोगों से बात करी, मेंटोर्स और बिजनेस मास्टर की टीम सबसे। सो उसके बाद मैं कंक्लूजन पे पहुंचा कि टीम में काम बंटना जरूरी नहीं है, टीम का काम करना जरूरी है। सो हमने एक टेबल बनाया और उसके ऊपर जो भी हमारे काम होते थे, मान लीजिए कोई कोई हमें पोस्ट बनानी है या फिर हमें कहीं से रॉ मटेरियल लाना है या फिर कहीं इवेंट है कोई उसमें मैनेज करना है, सो हम टेबल पे काम रखते थे और जिसको हेल्प करनी होती थी वो हेल्प करता था या फिर जिसको अपना वो लीड करना होता था वो लीड करता था। सो इसके बाद जो टीम थी वो फिर वापस से एक साथ आ गई और अभी तक हम काम कर रहे हैं। और आगे हमारा फ्यूचर प्लान यही है कि हम प्रोफेशनल्स जो हैं उनको अपने साथ जोड़ेंगे बिजनेस क्लस्टर इंक्यूबेशन सेल की हेल्प से, और फिर हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे मिस्टिक डेट्स को, एक ऐसा ब्रांड बनाएंगे जो जो बहुत आगे जाएगा।
अतिशी, अब केशव से बात कर ले अभी।
हाँ, यस एब्सोल्युटली,
Yes?
थैंक यू सूफी। हाय केशव। केशव भी हमारे एक यंग बिजनेस स्टार हैं। केशव, आप अपने बारे में और अपने स्टार्टअप के बारे में कुछ बताइए।
हेलो मैम, माय नेम इज़ केशव एंड हमारी जो आइडिया का नेम है वो है गेमिंग बीस्ट। जैसे कि इंडिया के मैं बताऊं आपको, इंडिया में अराउंड 1499 मिलियन पॉपुलेशन है, जिसमें से आज के टाइम पे करंट 400 मिलियन से भी ज़्यादा लोग ऑनलाइन मोबाइल गेम्स खेलते हैं। मोबाइल गेम्स अगर मैं टीजी बताऊं तो हमारे 14 टू 25 जो टारगेट ग्रुप है, इस एज ग्रुप में लोग ज़्यादातर मोबाइल गेम्स खेलते हैं और एक तरह से एडिक्टेड हैं। और हमारा जो एक था कि जो आज के टाइम पे लोग मोबाइल गेम्स खेलते हैं उनका एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाना जहाँ पे वो लोग आके अपनी स्किल्स बेसिस पे टूर्नामेंट और इक्वेशनली लेवल को भी बढ़ाएं और प्रॉफिट्स भी करें। स्टार्टिंग में जैसे ये आइडिया है,
आवाज टूट रही है।
ओके,
अब कोशिश कीजिए।
सब क्लियर है?
हाँ बिल्कुल।
ये तो आइडिया यही था कि एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाए जहाँ पे जो लोग हैं अपनी फेवरेट मोबाइल गेम्स जो हैं खेल सकें। तो हमारी टीम ने वर्क करा इसके ऊपर और हमने एक स्ट्रक्चर तैयार किया कि इस पैटर्न में लाइक 5 डेज का एक टूर्नामेंट हम तैयार करेंगे जिसमें लोग आके खेल सकते हैं। हमने जो गेम सेलेक्ट करी जो आज के टाइम पे ज़्यादातर मोबाइल गेम फेमस है, लाइक BGMI है, फ्री फायर है, ये लोग ज़्यादातर आज के टाइम पे जो आज की जनरेशन है इसको खेलती है। ये आइडिया भी मेरे को तब आया था जब मेरी फैमिली गई हुई थी जू में एंड मैं अपनी फैमिली में बड़ा भाई हूँ, तो मेरा छोटा भाई जो था उस टाइम पे पूरे टाइम पे गेम खेल रहा था, मोबाइल गेम जो उसकी फेवरेट है। तो आई थॉट कि ये अपने ऐसा टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा है और उसमें थोड़ा मनी स्पेंड भी कर रहा है, उसकी जगह ये टूर्नामेंट में खेले जो आज की जनरेशन है, टूर्नामेंट जाके खेले और रनिंग करे तो उनको भी प्रॉफिट एंड
ग्रेट। तो ये बताइए केशव कि आपको कितना सीड मनी मिला और आपकी टीम में कितने लोग हैं और सीड मनी का क्या किया आपने और अब कहाँ पहुंचे हैं?
बिल्कुल, हमारी टीम में टोटल 5 मेंबर्स हैं, सबकी वर्क डिवाइडेड है। हमारी जो टोटल सीड मनी हमको जो मिली थी अराउंड 10,000 थी। हमने इसके 10,000 में हमने इसे इन्वेस्ट किया मार्केटिंग पे, जो प्राइजेस हैं और कई सारी चीज़ें जैसे कि जो इन गेम्स के अंदर जिससे हम टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे थे हैं उनको परचेज करने में हमने अपनी जो मनी स्पेंड किया। अराउंड अब तक हमने इसके 3 सेशन करे हुए हैं, लाइक एक सेशन जो होता है वो 1 वीक का होता है, 5 डेज में पूरा टूर्नामेंट कंप्लीट हो जाता है। तो अभी तक हमने इसके 3 सेशन करे एंड 10,000 से आज हम 1,36,000 पे हैं।
Atishi, I think we're losing Keshav badly on this actually.
Okay, Keshav. So I think what he was sharing was कि they have from 10,000 rupees जो इनको seed money मिला था, they have made a profit of 1,36,000 rupees. And
That kind of return very few startups get, even the
exactly. Thank you, Keshav. And I think that we'll also wind up here. We wanted that you should be able to hear the stories, hear the voices of our young entrepreneurs. And I think Soofee and Keshav are many of hundreds and thousands of young people who have acquired this confidence and started their own startups. And I personally believe that they are the future of this country, and they are the future of the Indian economy. I'd like to close by asking the entire TIE team and all the people who are attending this to become a part of this program, because I think all of us worry about the future of our country. All of us think about how economic development is going to take place. And here we have these young people who really have the energy and uh, the enthusiasm to build India's economy. And so we would really appreciate if all of you could come forward. We have this website called thebusinessblasters.in, and you could come and register there. And of course, TIE, we are already in touch with. We are setting up an incubation center for these young people to take their businesses forward. And we really look forward to your support in this process to make sure that these young people can flourish, and so can our country's economy. Thank you.
Atishi, I can assure you on behalf of TIE that we will continue to spread the word, not just within India, but all the global chapters of TIE. I know we're running out of time, but I'm going to ask one final question to you. I know the others will curse me. This is clearly a Delhi model of entrepreneurship, never tried anywhere else in the world. What is the future plan with respect to a startup policy? I know you have Vision 2047 to make Delhi the entrepreneurship capital of India.
So we are in the process actually of bringing about a startup policy. The vision of that startup policy basically is that many of the things in which entrepreneurs end up spending their time, which are the legal paperwork, registration segment, rather than focusing on their core product, that is really what the government is going to provide support for, and the government is going to provide resources for. So if you want GST registration, the Delhi government will provide a resource for that. If you need any advice on intellectual property rights, IPR, then the Delhi government will provide lawyers for that. So the idea is that those who are entrepreneurs, see, a lot of these young people have such brilliant ideas. We are hardly anyone to tell them what it is that they should be doing. But what we can do as a government is to ensure that they get the time and the energy to focus on their ideas, and the 80-90% that gets taken up with all this legal difficulties and tangles, that goes away, and that is where we can provide support. That really is going to be the cornerstone of our startup policy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Atishi, Soofee, Keshav. This is very inspirational for everyone listening in today. I can commit support on behalf of the entire audience and TI going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.